Hi, I'm Seven. You're watching Sonic Eclectic Vision. Today we have Chris from the
Hey,
band Tokyo, Denmark, Sweden. I got it.
true.
I got it.
You got
Tokyo, Denmark, Sweden.
it.
And I'm talking to him from Australia. Okay. First thing I gotta ask you, why that name for the band and you're in Australia? What's going on, man?
True. It's usually the first question we get. Um, it's not surprising if you're a lot of Australians will get the reference.
Okay.
There's a popular band from the late '90s that came out of Sydney called Girling.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first Australian band to really nail the electronic and rock and roll pop music sort of vibe, and one of their best songs was a song called "Death to the Apple Girls," and that was the refrain in that song was just Tokyo, Denmark, Sweden. Completely random, had no reference. The lyrics didn't make any sense, but we
Right.
always liked the vibe of it, and I think that was the first band I ever saw as well. But when we were thinking of names, it just kind of popped into our head. There was three members. I don't know. We liked it, but nothing other than homage to that band, Girly. Yeah,
Now it's you, Chris, Tom, and Amy. There's three,
correct.
three
Yeah.
people in the band, correct?
Yeah. We'll play live with a drummer, but the band is the three of us. Yeah.
Now, was this like, hey, let's add a girl because it makes us look edgy and cool, or how'd that happen?
No, Amy and I were in bands probably a year or two prior to Tokyo, Denmark. We kind of kicked around. It originally started. I had just moved back to Sydney, and I had always been in bands as a kid, and I hadn't been in a band for a couple of years. I'd been away living up the coast.
Mm.
Came back, wanted to start a band. I met Amy through MySpace, funnily enough, and that was when that was popular.
Right.
She wrote her own music and wanted to play. I wrote my own music and wanted to play. So it was kind of like, well, together we could help play each other's music. We just had to find a drummer,
Right.
and so we sort of started kicking around together, and we played with a few different drummers, and then eventually we met Tom, who's not a drummer, he's a keyboard player, but as soon as we met him, it kind of just fell into place, and we had a mutual love of certain types of music, and yeah, it was not a planned thing, and it was just kind of very organic, and that's just the way it ended up being. But
Now, what
yeah,
is
it worked out really well.
so Tom plays keys
Yep.
and you're
Amy sings,
Amy sings
and
and you
I do guitar, keys, and Tom and I also do the live DJing elements, drum pads, things like that. When we play
wow.
live. So there's a few other bits and pieces we have, and Tom and I basically take care of all the instruments, and
Right.
Amy will sing. Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm gonna play a clip. Well, I'll play
cool.
your video and then I'm gonna play my favorite song.
Okay, sweet.
But I'll do the video first.
All right, awesome.
Okay, awesome. So right now we got the song called "When It Breaks."
Mhm.
Now, what inspired "When It Breaks"?
Um, when it breaks was probably the first song we did that we really thought we nailed the sound we were looking for, or the kind of the the music we wanted to make. For a while, we kind of weren't sure. We knew what we wanted to do, but we couldn't make it fit. And When It Breaks was the first time that really happened for us. Originally, it came from an idea of Amy's. She had a basic chord progression. Usually, this is the way we write songs. So, you know, she had a basic chord progression. She brought it to the group. We kind of just roughed out a demo in a very short period. She took it away and put down vocals. And then we sort of spent a little bit of time tying it all together and trying to really fit, well, the balance between electronic and pop and rock and roll and make it sound the way we wanted to sound it, which we weren't really sure how it was going to end up. But I think it was the first time we were really happy with the end result of something we've done, and it kind of fit exactly into that box of what we wanted to do.
I really like it. It's smooth. The vocals is interesting because she has this. It sounds rock, like it has like a little rock edge, but yet it's still soft and tender. What kind of music was she doing before?
The music she was playing before was probably, I guess you'd call it maybe like alternative rock, but she was a little bit younger then when she was making that sort of stuff. She sort of always has been in bands with her brother mostly. He's a great musician as well. Yeah, but it's sort of alternative rock, I suppose. Like the music she was listening to when she was younger and when she started writing music was, I don't know if you've ever heard of, there's an Australian band called Little Birdie. What else was she listening to? Any sort of awesome female rock and roll chick out of the 2000s or the 90s is what Amy used to listen to. So she's definitely got that edge. But as she got older, I think her voice kind of naturally fell into its own rhythm and changed and for the better, and sort of smoothed out. And now she's kind of almost got this. It's like I always hear it described as like uplifting, but saddening as well. Like it's weird, but and she gets comparisons to a lot of rock chicks, but she's definitely got an interesting, unique voice. I think it sounds like a voice that would fit really well in the 80s for me. But I dig it.
I totally dig it. Now I'm gonna play my favorite. Okay.
Okay, sweet.
The song called "Lights Off." I just thought it was really, really cool. Let's take it. It's weird because it sounds like some deep, message kind of song, but yet it's so happy, and all you want to do is dance to it. It's like you're lonely, you're depressed, you got issues, whatever. I'm happy.
It's true. It's so true. I think we never intended to ever do that, but I think that every single one of our songs tends to have a bit of up and a bit of down. I think if you can dance to it, we're happy. But usually the lyrics and the chord progressions we seem to use for whatever reason without deliberately setting out to ever do it are kind of real and a little bit deep and personal. And but the music's always uplifting and fun and pumping, or we try to make it that. So it's funny. It's a contradiction, but I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because it has this organic feel, but you could tell obviously you're using a lot of synthetic instruments. So it's like real topics, but this synthetic thing going on. There's just this teardrop in her voice and this growl with the rock.
Mm.
As a musician,
Yeah.
I could pick that up. So I think you guys are picking the right path, definitely, for what you got, because everything balances out listening to your
Yeah,
stuff.
awesome.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do something that was not, I wouldn't say the aim was ever to do something crazily different, because I don't necessarily think we do that, but it was just finding, well, what do we love? What do we want to make? What's the music we want to hear? And it kind of just ended up being what it is now. And sometimes it's a little bit more dancey and sometimes it's a little bit more poppy and rocky, but it kind of seems to fit with each other. So we're really, really happy at the moment with how it's sounding. Very 80s inspired, people say, which is funny to me, because most of the bands I listen to were not 80s bands, but for whatever reason, that seems to be the way it comes out. Yeah.
All right. Well, give everybody your website. Where can they find you? Keep up to date to what you guys are doing.
Yeah, sweet. Probably the best place at the moment is Facebook, our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Tokyo Denmark Sweden, all one word. You can also check out all the music on our SoundCloud as well, and that's soundcloud.com/Tokyo Denmark Sweden. Pretty much anything /Tokyo Denmark Sweden is us. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasant surprise that you were from Australia, because I got introduced when I went to France. You know Midem?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there a couple times and performed over there in Nice, and I got introduced to Australian music, and like all these CDs,
Sweet.
all these different acts. I just love the sound. There is a sound to your country.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
they're doing jazz, pop, like you could, the way, I don't know how you guys record it. We got to talk off set to see what you guys are doing. But I just love how it's engineered down there.
Yeah, sweet. No, it's very good stuff coming out of here at the moment. Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you
Awesome,
so
man.
much for joining us on Sonic Eclectic Vision.
Thanks for having
Again,
me.
check out Tokyo,
Denmark.
Denmark, Sweden. I'm always afraid of saying that wrong. Love it, man. All right. Thank you very
Awesome, man.
much
Good
for
talking
watching.
to you.
Thank
Peace.
you. Sonic Eclectic Vision.